Hey, welcome back everyone. It's almost been a month, can you believe it, since the Golf Quest started. And I think it's time to just do a check-in to see where things are at. I'll do this kind of check-in journal probably once a month, just to give feedback to how I feel like I'm coming along and where things are headed. So the big thing from this last month was swinging to the target. If you've watched some of the other videos, you'll know that that was a big focus, and I think it's paid dividends. If we check in on my 3 goals, the first one being lowered handicap, I won't be able to really check on that until I get to the spring and I get out on the course and get some rounds on my belt, so who knows about that goal. The second goal was driving, and specifically driving accuracy and distance. My distance definitely has not increased. If anything, it's gone a little bit down. But I do think my accuracy has increased. Now that's just more of a feel than numbers. I don't have a lot of numbers to back that up yet. Hopefully as this goes on and I get more VGA Tour rounds under my belt, I'll be able to actually have real data to support whether or not my driving accuracy is improving. And then when I get out on the real course in the spring and summer, then I'll have real data. But I feel like the driving is actually heading in the right direction. I'm actually using the driver now, which is a big improvement, because before I just kind of was leaving it in the bag and hitting the 3-wood. So I think that's trending in the right direction. It's a small improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. And then that leaves me with the goal of winning a VGA Tour event. And I just rattled off my best round on the VGA Tour and followed up a solid first round. I'm not gonna win, but I am gonna have a solid finish. So I feel like, again, trending in the right direction in that regard. So I'm gonna hold on to swinging to the target. That was my big takeaway from January. Think about swinging to the target. Now, where does that leave me going forward to February? Well, the other night, like 2 nights ago, I'm sitting on my computer watching YouTube golf videos, and I come across a video from Maude. You might have noticed that he's on the TV right now. And it was this video that's playing, and I'll put a link to that video in the description below so you can check it out if you haven't already. And Danny was just talking really about swing tempo and how to make sure that your rhythm and your sequencing is right. And as I was watching, it's like 10 o'clock at night, I'm looking at it and I'm going, that seems like it might actually work. Pretty simple build-up of 3 steps that he lays out. And so the blessing and the curse of having a golf simulator at home is you can do it anytime. So 10 o'clock, my obsessive nature, I head out to the golf simulator and I just do some practice swings. And I start and I grab a weight and I go through these steps that Danny says, and right away it feels really good. And so I've always kind of known that my sequencing's a little off. I can be off balanced, and I knew that if I'd be better balanced with better sequencing, I can probably have a better swing. So I'm actually gonna use this little drill for the next little while. This is my next goal because I think it has such great value. And I'm actually gonna demonstrate the steps right now for you. Obviously, Danny demonstrates them much better than I, but you're gonna see how someone listening to Danny is taking his information in and trying to duplicate it. And then I'll hit some balls on the SkyTrack range just to see how that feels as well. So let's get started. So the very first thing, great timing, because right now Danny has a weight in his hand and he's talking about swinging a weight, and this will encourage us to swing with our big muscles rather than our small muscles. So he tells us to start, so I'm just gonna mimic Danny here. This is why he's on the screen. I start and I swing it out, I plant and then swing back and plant and swing the other way. Okay, so it's just that sensation of using the big muscles. So you really get that sense of the sequence going from the ground to the arms. I think that's what he's really trying to teach us, is using that ground. We always talk about how great golfers use the ground. For a long time, I never used the ground. I'm starting to get better. So you do that with the weight. I have done that. Now Danny's grabbing a club. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just gonna grab a little 9-iron here. Those beautiful green arcs. I wish I had those on my club. It's funny doing this, I can almost feel the speed of the club getting faster too than my normal swing. You can hear a greater whoosh. Now I know I'm not swinging at a ball, but I can feel it's interesting. Back, step, forward. It's interesting how smooth that feels, how your arms just start to sequence. Okay, so SkyTrack range is all set up. So we're gonna try that. Again, just that feeling. Here we go. Actually, I'm gonna do it once without. Over top of the ball. Okay, again. And now, here we go. That's way to the right. I've got the feeling in my body. Now I'm just gonna hit some shots thinking about that sequence, okay? And I'm just thinking about using those big muscles, sequencing the way the drill was making you feel. Pretty good. That's a low spinning 9-iron right now. Little drawing back to the center line. I've noticed this is a fiber built mat, and I've noticed since I've got it, when you hit it, it has residue that comes up and it gets on some of my clubs. So if I don't wash them enough, I guess, then the residue builds up. I was having low spin with my pitching wedge and my 9-iron, and I scrubbed them down and spin instantly returned to normal. Yeah, that's a really nice shot. It's the one I want all the time. All right, I'm gonna go up now to a 5-iron, a little harder club to hit. And again, still think the same thing. Step, swing. Feels solid. It almost feels like you're leaving the club behind when you start that downswing, right? You're going forward, the club stays back for a second. All right, now, big test, of course, always is the driver. Does this help with the driver? Now, I can tell you it did help. I mean, I can tell you I think it does, just based on the little practice I've had, but I will hit a few here. And again, that feel of moving it with the big muscles. Not a great drive, but I've hit a lot worse. So there you go, everyone. That's kind of where I'm at right now, heading into February. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you consider doing that, that'd be awesome. Also, the link for Danny's video is in the description below if you want to head over to his website and give it a view and try it out for yourself. All right, all the best, and we'll see you next time on Golf Quest.